So, how many years have you been coaching?
I've been coaching for in total with town ball too, stuff like that, or just
Yeah,
school?
I mean, how many years have you been a coach in organized baseball?
20. I'll say 23 years.
Okay,
right now.
At all different levels, I'm assuming.
All different. I mean, from New York. I lived in New York, moved here when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and then been here. I've been at the middle school, Plainfield Middle School, for 14 years. Second year at Plainfield High School.
Okay. When did so 2 years ago? When did you?
Last year was
did somebody come to you and say, "Hey"? Did the athletic director come to you and say?
No, it was something I've been working for and just waiting for the opportunity. And when the opportunity presented itself, I just threw my name in the hat and did the interview. I think I did great, and
obviously you got the gig, right? You know,
yeah, yeah.
And obviously you got the sunglasses too, because it's so bright in here.
It's my swag.
It is actually.
It is kind of bright in here.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were on. I had no idea. That's what I was kind of like.
We've been on.
I was like, Mike, are we going to get this started or what?
I've been recording for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
If I would have said to you, "Okay, let's go," you could have. How many people would freeze up? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Tell us about the squad. What do we got?
Well, we got I think we got a veteran and a young squad. We're in between. Last year we lost 8 varsity players, and then this year we just have I got 5 varsity players, 2 juniors, and three sophomores, and they're ready to go. You know, that's what we have right now. Talking about the my top players, the guys I'm relying on, you could say, is Will Cook, ace of the staff. He's been 6'7", so I'm pretty sure you guys know who Will Cook is.
Gwillem.
I know. I call him Gwill.
Gwillem Cook.
Yep. Yeah. Mr. Cook. Everybody's a chef, but who could cook? You know what I'm saying? And that's what he does. He could cook. You got Tony Nabin. Government name is Anthony, but we call him Tony. He's a tone setter, leadoff hitter, plays center field. Amazing, defense, and also could come out of the bullpen and pitch, throw strikes. So we got that, and then we got, I call him my swag, Casey Murnick. His brother from last year.
Oh, there's like 20 Murnick kids, I think, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So you got this one. He's a junior, and smiles, uplifting, loves his teams, and positive energy, and you just can't wait for the season to start. And then you have Keegan Hurst, who last year struggled, took a break, came back, and went on a tear. And I think in the second half of the season, he batted over 300, and he had a game-winning hit against Putnam. He went 4 for 5 with a game-winning hit with 3 RBIs. So the kid didn't play baseball for nearly almost 2 years, and last year was just figure it out. But he worked, got it, and now he's ready. And right now, he's working hard, and you can put him anywhere in the field.
His sister, used to pitch for the softball team.
Yes, I coach her in basketball too.
Yep,
girls basketball.
What about the players that you're really gonna count on? Let's talk about Jacoby Grillo for example.
So my big dogs, those guys Jacoby, amazing kid. Just a utility player. You can put him anywhere. He just has a checklist. So if you need a left fielder, boom. Right fielder, boom. Need him at short. Need him anywhere you need him, boom. He could pitch. Solid contact hitter. He does everything that he needs to do. Asks the right questions all the time. Always asking questions, and I love that because he just wants to know what's needed for the situation, what he needs to do, just to be aware and prepared. And I love that. So that's what he brings. And then you have Talon Harrison, who Talon once again, just like Jacoby, could play anywhere. I call him Mr. Cool because he's always smiling. He's always relaxed. Quiet, sneaky, but...
Sneaky?
Sneaky.
Explain sneaky.
Sneaky, you see him and you be like, all right. And then out of nowhere, you see the pop, you see the throws, and you're like, oh, wow. Really? So that's why I call him Mr. Cool.
Sneaky.
Because he's just cool. He's relaxed all the time, and he brings that energy every day at practice. Same thing. Always asking questions, what's going on. And, you love players like that. They always want to know what you need from me, coach, and stuff like that. And then you have my like I call him, everybody wants to be like Mike. Mikey Goyette, good kid, coachable, but also a leader on the field. Always telling kids, hey, we're doing this. We're working like this. Hey, you throw like he's coaching also a player on the team, So you love players like that always are going to give a helping hand when the coach is, doing something else and stuff like that. It's always there,
And newcomers?
What do you got? Newcomers. So the 3 names I'm going to give you, they're sophomores. So we didn't do this interview last year. They would have been freshmen. But last year, they came up in varsity and helped out. Jace Arriaga, I call him my Carlos Correa. They could put him anywhere in the infield, but always has that guy, good swag, always carrying himself in a good light. Mason Tavernier, also, I call him Tab because he thinks he's better than everybody. And that's a good thing to have because confidence. You
got to have a little swag.
Yeah. So I call him, hey, Tab, let's go. And he, like even today in batting practice, he's hitting the ball and he's feeling good. And, and Phoenix Thompson, also, all 3 guys have to, we're asking them to step up. Phoenix, I call him Superman. I mean, he's built like Superman, put on the glasses, he's Clark Kent, he's 2 different guys. It's amazing. You got to see this kid. He's amazing. And I love it. And those 3 guys, I expect a lot from them. I've been telling them that. And then my freshman, Carson Navalli, he's a lefty, good pitcher and everything. And, he's been working on his mechanics, but we told him he's going to be pitching up in varsity. He's going to get innings in JV, but also coming out of the bullpen at varsity, just push up his process, kind of speed it up so he can be ready, going forward. Because you never know what's going to happen this season, right?
For sure. Exactly.
Do you, the way you talk about these kids, like obviously you know them, and you seem like you'd be a blast to play for, man. You got a nickname for every kid on this squad.
What would your nickname be for Chris Fabre?
Well, I got to hang out with him to understand his swag before I could do that.
But obviously, being in the system for so long and coaching at the middle school and all that, and coaching different sports and all that, you have an advantage, like of knowing these kids. What's the positives of that, of seeing these kids?
I mean, the positive, they you build a relationship and they trust you and they talk to you. So when you see them, struggling a little bit, and you're like, hey, what's going on? They might not say right away what's wrong or whatever. And then you pull them, you walk down the road, and they be like, hey, what's going on? And then they feel they could trust you and they could tell you what's going on, how they're feeling, or what happened. And those are the relationships I love because they could count on me just like I could count on them. They could count on me by me, by them talking to me, and just like them confiding, like I'm telling coach something, I don't expect coach to blur it out or anything like that. I'm like, I'm like a priest. You can say. But like I'm helping them out in that aspect.
Father Moe.
Yeah, but I like it's just that the day in, day out, them talking about their school days or what happened or somebody that it's just just a team having fun. That kind of energy. And like I said, they know me for years. Like I said, I have most of these kids, like I've been coaching them since they were 6th grade at middle school. And some of these kids, I know them, they're in 3rd grade because, the softball coach, John Nisbet, always, brought me down to Little League or Mustang. So I got to meet kids and everything. So they could say in a couple of years, at middle school, I'll play for Coach Moe, or now in high school, I want to play for Coach Moe. So it's just that kind of relationship. And that's, I love doing that for these kids.
I think that's so important. Like, I'd always asked around, like during youth football, with a lot of the kids, the Grizzle youth football program is such a feeder system, for Grizzle High School and other schools, depending on where they go.
Yeah, exactly.
I never understood why some of the coaches for Grizzle High School didn't come down, and introduce themselves to the kids. I always thought that because so many towns, not to throw these guys under the bus, but kind of, I just think it's important, as a coach, to make yourself known to the younger players, and this is what they could expect a little bit.
I know on this side of the fence where we are in Plainfield, I know myself and the softball coach, that's something we pride for, of introducing ourselves to the kids, letting the kids know who we are, and showing up to their games, because that's huge, right? Yeah. Imagine that. You at 13 years old playing a little league or junior league, whatever, and somebody tells you, hey, varsity coach is
watching you.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge. Yeah. So that kid is like, oh, snap. Like me talking about it, I got goosebumps just talking about it. Just a thought. Imagine what a 13-year-old is thinking, or a 12-year-old. So I feel those strides, those steps are important to build the culture you want to build and have the love and respect from the community, seeing that, hey, this guy's here for us. And that's what we're doing. That's where we're approaching. And it's not just what we're doing. We're looking at the history of Plainfield, right? Like I'm Cheveris was the head coach, and I'm picking his brain. And Schiffner was the head coach before that, and I pick Nisbet's brain because I need to know how Schiffner ran his practices and everything. And like one of the biggest quote was, nobody's bigger than baseball. You're responsible to do your job according to what the coach is asking you to do. You're playing the game of baseball. It takes 9, not just 1. So introducing that, explaining it, it's huge, and these kids are soaking it up, and that's a good sense of direction where we're going for the future.
I feel kind of bad because I think I just threw Greg Wilcox under the bus, and I'm sorry, Greg. I do respect you and everything.
No, I love that approach, and it's like players will play hard for people that know that they care about them, and then and if you've already invested, earlier in their life when they see at a game, and kids notice the little things. They'll notice if their math teachers there, their study hall teachers there. They notice these things because and they play harder for them. And, I always said my favorite coach. I would run through a brick wall for him just because how hard they wanted to win and all that, and just the relationships. That's awesome.
Today's program is being brought to you by the Burns Agency in Dayville and Norwich. Home, auto, life insurance, all from a family-owned agency since 1932. Call 860-774-8549 or find them on the web at burnsagency.com and find out why you'll buy better at Burns. The Burns Agency, a Hub International company. Strain Family Motors on Route 12, Lisbon. Quality used cars like the SNSN Strain Family Motors Mobile that you will see at all SNSN sports events. Oil changes, remote car starters, all available and more in their service department. And if you really want to turn up the excitement, rent a Polaris Slingshot for the day and live it up. All available at Strain Family Motors, Route 12 in Lisbon.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same thing from Ben DeZonier for the last few years. And I know Tim Lake, from Griswold. So, I mean, you guys all seemed like you were like cut from the same cloth. As far as
I think I'm better. I'm just edit that.
Take 2.
No.
Tim may walk in any minute. So
no, you are correct. Like
you're all like the
Ben. Yeah,
as far as the kids are concerned,
yes, they have that same approach, and I do notice like other coaches, coaches that I compete with and everything that they do this. They do the little things.
Yeah,
I think the little things mean more than anything. It builds up the big thing. So if you find time to go down there, shake a hand, give a hug, or give advice, it's huge.
The Putnam coach, he's the same way. But then again, people confuse him as a player because I think he's the same age almost.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
He's also the athletic director.
That's Joey Pishka. He was a student of mine at Lyman years ago. Random, what's your favorite baseball movie and why?
Random. It's so many. But the one I love the most, it's I think it's the one that Kevin Constance is pitching a no-hitter in Yankee Stadium.
The Perfect Game, I think.
Yeah, it's just the arc of a pitcher when people are like, he's done, and he's like, no, I still got some, and he's there and everything. I love that movie. I mean, Major League, you can't go wrong with that. Rookie of the Year, that's everybody's dream, right? I remember watching that, and I wanted, I wish I could throw that. Yeah, I wish I could throw like that. But there's a lot of good movies. I like drama. I don't know. I like that. I like crime. I like that build up of a classic movie. But yeah, I don't know. I love that game popped up. That movie popped up in my head, and I remember him riding the ball and giving it, saying, "This is my final game." Blah blah. And I'm like, dang. Like
nobody says The Natural.
Major League's probably my number one.
Yeah.
I know.
It's best.
Well, don't get me wrong. I sit there and watch baseball all the time.
Yeah,
it'd be on YouTube or anything. It doesn't matter. I'm watching last night. I'm a Mets fan, so my boy.
I'm so sorry. I mean, no.
Juan Soto.
Soto hit it.
Yeah.
Soto.
Yeah. But I'm a Mets fan. I grew up in Queens, like I said, and when he hit the home run last night, I was like, yes.
Is he a game? Do you think he's a game changer?
Oh, I don't. Huge. This is where I look at it. It's the same thing. You can look at it as a coach. You could look at it as a player. It's momentum building. He went from Yankee story franchise. He left the Yankees to go to the Mets.
Across the street. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine, it's like, I know you guys felt it, right? When people from Red Sox went to the Yankees, you're like,
Johnny Damon killed me still.
So that's what I'm saying. So when he went to the Mets, it's
Clemens.
Clemens. Put it this way: when the Mets got, I don't know if you guys could remember back then. You hit Carlos Delgado, Carlos Beltran, the catcher Luke the dude, I can't remember his name, but they basically went all in once they signed Carlos Beltran. That was a coach.
Who did Beltran play for first?
Houston.
I
got you, baby.
Very good.
No, not just Houston. Before that, he played for Kansas City.
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah,
but once he went to the Mets, then you had Pedro Martinez sign. They brought up Jose Reyes, David Wright, and then I was there when Chavez caught that ball over the fence, got the double play, but they didn't win Game 7.
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking. But then,
it's nothing more heartbreaking if you're a Red Sox fan than Mookie Wilson.
Oh, you talking about 86?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mookie Betts isn't too. It's not.
He wasn't even born.
I know, but I'm saying that one hurts too.
No, that does
Still,
hurt.
Yeah.
But I think he's a game changer. I think
Mookie Betts is more of a game changer than Soto is.
Well, I mean, he is a game changer too. I mean, when I mean game changer, I mean like if you see an organization get a guy and you're like, oh, these guys are for real. I want to see what they're going. And you had guys saying, I'll play for the Mets. It's just stuff like that. Like when Mookie Betts got traded, I was like, oh, I think that was bad. And then they got who? Freeman, Ohtani, and then they just started now they have a window to win 5 World Series they want. And these guys in their prime.
Matter of fact, they've just signed Vladimir Guerrero's unborn child.
No, get out of here. I think the Mets are trying to get that one. I mean, the son, the one that's playing for Toronto right now.
The one that's alive.
Yeah, the one that's breathing. Yes, yeah.
Where do you see Plainfield going this year? This is preseason.
Look,
I mean,
like I told the kids, I say, let's work hard, let's give effort, but let's have fun, and whatever fun brings us. Whatever the record is, that's what we're riding with. Last year, I think we struggled in the beginning. We went 1-8. Second half of the season, we turned it on. We moved players around. We made decisions, and we won 5 games. Our goal was to win 7 to get into states. We won 5. We got 6 total. So we was like, all right, we know where we want to go. So this year, like I said, work hard, put effort, and also smile, have fun, embrace who you are, bring yourself to the diamond, and that's it. Let's go.
So if you read between the lines there, Coach Moe Perez says that Plainfield will win the ECC.
No, this camera's live right here. I never said those words. I said we're gonna have fun. All right, and built from there.
Coach Moe Perez says that Plainfield's going to win states. Do you have anything else, Chris?
No, that's it, man. I appreciate talking to you. I think I want to play for you, actually.
Yeah, you're fun.
I appreciate you guys having me here, and I thank you guys for all you do. And this is amazing. Kids. I wish this was around when I was a kid.
Well, the funny thing is that when we first started doing this, back then we were Wolverine Radio, and we really only did Griswold at that point. And we would pull up in my van, and the kids go, "Oh, geez, Wolverine Radio singer." Like, whatever, because we just did audio, over the internet. And now it's really cool because I'll get out of the car and they'll go, SNSN's here. And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, it's not an ego boost. It just makes me feel good. No. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I want you to know too, without you and the players and the conference, there's no us.
No, you're right. I mean,
so it's certainly mutual.
Look, I appreciate, thank you. And, I love coaching. And the best part about coaching varsity baseball, I have the fun. I have the best seat in the house. So I can watch all the talent up in the ECC. And, you never know what kid might make it anywhere. Right. And that's what every day I sit there and I watch each kid. Even I'm that coach that will show love to the other team, the best player, just, who had the best game that day. Hey, amazing job. Big hug and everything. I don't say coach. Opposite coach. I'm different. Different.
So it's weird, but that's something else I'll tell you. But hey, Coach Perez, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Good luck this year. Yeah. We'll talk to you throughout the season. And now we only have like 2 minutes for John Nisbet.
I mean, John John, he good. John good. Delete that.
Mic drop.
Sorry. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.